Welcome everyone, it's Evelyn. It's 8:03 on the clock, which is the Strength card, and the 3 of the Empress, which is also Leo and Taurus, both fixed signs. We are going to roll a die today. I have a big Metatron read. It's like a story. It's beautiful, amazing energy. Like if you need to stay for only a certain amount of time, listen to this Metatron read. It's beautiful. I have the Twin Flame read on the table as well. And yeah, we're going to get right into it because I have this Metatron read. It's a lot. So take a deep breath. Go ahead and take another deep breath. While I'm talking, and I'm going to roll the die. Thank you all for being here, sending lots of love and blessings out to you all. It was a little bit kind of gloomy, cold today, so I wasn't really outside too much. But the energy was really good. I slept really late today. I went to bed late last night, but it wasn't late, but I hadn't slept the night before. So it was a really good night's sleep. And then I woke up specifically to the energy of the word love, L being the key to change, right? Because the L is also that right angle triangle, the key to change. The O becomes the oval, stretching from the human embodiment of source, right? And stretching to the V, which is creation, and then to the E, which is the one with the 3 lines across, which is equal and congruent to. So again, the key to change with the human embodiment of source stretching to create and be equal and congruent to each other. So it's a beautiful message that I woke to regarding the word love. And today is the 1st of March, which I was still thinking I was in February here. But March 1st, the Magician, and the day adds up to 10, which is the Wheel of Fortune. So really powerful 1 energy today with the Magician and the Wheel of Fortune, where magic happens. And it's so weird too, because the electric company is turning off our electric for the day to do something that they're working on outside. So I'm not going to have any electricity from 9 to 5 tomorrow. So it's something about tomorrow that's going on. And yeah, I woke up at 10:54, so really late for me. I don't usually ever sleep past 9 o'clock. I can't. But yeah, I slept really good. The 54 came up several times today, which is the Page of Swords. So there's that message coming out, getting out there. There could be a lot of small messages too, which can reference just emails and texts and things like that. And I was watching Sam's video this morning, Sam the Illusionist, and the Law of Rhythmic Catalyst came up, which I'm grateful for the title of that, because it just talks about what I tell you guys about regarding the energy loop, right? That we go up, but then we have to go slightly back in order to create the momentum to go back up again. And he was literally describing that in his channeling today and calling it the Law of Rhythmic Catalyst. So then I went into my Metatron read, and before I knew it, I was hours into this read. It was amazing. It's a beautiful story that's being told. So it started out because of Sam's video on the rhythmic catalyst. So I went to draw that circle of going down to rise again. It was very hazy outside, and I took a short video of the sun. It was kind of hazy. It was just really beautiful sun with the haze, but I didn't see anything unusual today. And then I got a few bills taken care of, and then I sat down to write all this down, and again, going down to rise again, which creates momentum. And I wrote momentum down, which is literally moment, right? The now moment plus which is boredom, right? So the momentum is grounding it, integrating time or boredom. The also means skill, house, around, in order. And again, I've been talking about chaos this week, right? Ordering the chaos of life that it is. Also, is water, stone, and 1. And then I went to the Boar of Boredom. So the boar or bored. And that is the first thing that came up with boar is to inspire freedom, which you wouldn't normally think that when you're talking about the word boredom. But the boar is also that big machine, right, to bore a hole through something. So the different meanings for bore were to inspire freedom, which is perhaps from lack of interest, to make a hole or cut, to form, to force a narrow and difficult passage through mourning, to push a lot of force, strength, power, or labor, to fool, to trick, or rapid flow rolling into a wave motion, like the water in the river, the ocean. Also, caliber and importance came up with Boar, and puncture, indentation, and to drill. And also with came up someone, besides just one, someone, man, husband, mind, intellect, and wit came up for So all those having to do with boredom. And then I went right into my Metatron read, which is at 12:48 to 49 today, which is the Hanging Man, the 48 of the 8 of Cups, walking away within, and the 49 of the 9 of Cups, of getting your wish, or perhaps finding self-happiness, self-satisfaction. So I'm going to roll the dice first, and then I'm going to show you the read for the Metatron read. And a lot of this was even before I even started the Metatron read, so let's see what the dice have to say for the twins today, March 1st. We're in March now, 2022. All right, we have the number 9, which is the Hermit, and also Virgo. It's also the month of September, which also goes into Libra. We have, again, Neptune here, which came up yesterday with Pisces, and we have Taurus as well. So, dreaminess of Neptune, stubbornness of Taurus, and that purity energy of Virgo, which is its job is to purify. So, yeah, it's like refusing to stop dreaming, you know, not allowing other people to stop you from dreaming and going within. Okay, and also Pisces and Virgo are on the same axis. So that axis is coming up along with Taurus. And here is the picture of the Metatron read. Okay, so the underlying energy, the bottom of the deck is here, and these are 2 cards down from the bottom of the deck. And this is my Big Bird card, or the Queen of Swords. I start here, going across like this, and then into these 3 cards, and then these 3 cards, and these are in a big addendum today. Yeah, kind of like a PS. So here we go with the Metatron deck read. Okay, so like I said, the underlying energy was the Big Bird card of priorities, and 52 of the Queen of Swords. And the first card art was the Lilac card regarding higher realms and magic, as today is the 1 and the 10, the Magician and the Wheel of Fortune, making magic. And the colors were lilac, gold, and indigo, and the, was that all of them? Hold on. I had to continue it onto the next page because I got started. We also have white in the main part of the read, and then red came in that addendum area, and orange. But that's kind of like an after. So that little PS part is red and orange, but otherwise is white, lilac, which is the top of the head, and the gold, which is the unity consciousness, and then the indigo, the third eye. So very high vibrational energy in the main part of the read. And just fire as far as elements. And it was funny, the duality card came up today too, which is usually the King of Wands being off balance. And I was getting guided regarding that about at the bottom of the deck as well, with the shaman energy, to call my son because he probably hasn't been eating right. And when he couldn't really talk when I called him. But when I said that, he's like, yeah, I was thinking that too. So it was just perfect. So at 1:03, I went to write the last row of cards down, which I never did until the next page. And then I went into Sandalphon, because right away I was getting that energy between Michael and Metatron, that Sandalphon is Metatron's partner, but Michael and Metatron always come up together as M and M for me, with the sand now in between, which, remember, when you have couples and you put a third party in between, like a mediator, they just create an even better or closer union, right? If there needs to be mediation. So it's like no matter how close the couple is, like no matter how close any 2 objects are to each other, with the space between, if you mediate the space between using a third energy, that it creates an even tighter or closer bond, even less space needed. So that was an important message. But this is what started the whole thing here. So, okay, so now I'm getting, and that was part of the message that I got yesterday too, was not only Sandalphon, Metatron's other, but also is defined as Sandalphon being between a Michael and a Metatron type energy. And I always describe to you as Michael being the lightning and Metatron being the thunder, and Metatron being that sound of the really loud voice, and then the Michael being the strike, right, of the thunder, that more physical energy, or visual, you know, with the light. So that came up right away, and Sandalphon again came up with Sandy and Danny from Greece, and San like Sandalphon, and then Dan of the Dan lineage of the tribes of Israel. And also my brother came up again today, whose name is Dan. But Sandalphon between Michael and Metatron. And they were showing me that this is like the 3D, 4D, 5D, that Michael's, you know, always been known in the 3D to govern us over in the 3D. And as we went into 4D, it's Sandalphon, where Metatron is the 5D jump-off point, okay? And I've always gotten, too, that Michael was watching over the feminine's awakening, and Metatron over the masculine's awakening. And now Sandalphon started coming up a lot with my son when we were working on our work together when he was home for a while. And he was coming up with Sandalphon all the time. And he's very much that energy, very sweet and creative type of thinker. And so when I got the 3D, 4D, 5D for Michael, Sandalphon, and Metatron, they guided me to write down the first three letters of each, which is MIC for Michael, SAN for Sandalphon, and then MAT for Metatron. And so this is what came of that. So not only is it Michael and Metatron, but San means that letter M and lowercase m in the Greek ancient or archaic alphabet. So not only are Michael and Metatron M and M, but so is Dolphin. Sandalphon is the M and M between the M and M. And so MIC doesn't have that many meanings. And Met had more than Mike, but still is not as much as San. San, of course, means saint, but it means a whole lot of other stuff. So, and also San comes up with different language words like SAN with the long line over the A, as well as the short A, and the long A again with an accent over it, which mean different things. The San came up with the definition of the three lines across, which has been coming up a lot because I told you already, the three lines with the E, the one of the E and then the three lines that make up the E, is the math equation of equal and congruent to. So here it's coming up the three lines across also, San. And that was at 121, which is the magician and the world, or completion, or being whole. The three lines, which was coming up from the Han Chinese, and also equals the three, the other woman or man, repeatedly or thrice. And then San with the short A was coming up as a symbol from Japanese that meant umbrella, parasol, or parachute. And then the other San came up as Vietnamese, meaning floor, but also under that definition came up the gentleman, the husband, or man, to survey or measure. So, and these, just in case you want to see the symbols of those. So that was the Japanese symbol that was coming up. Sorry, it's a little blurry there. And then here is the Vietnamese symbol that was coming up. Obviously, besides the three lines here from the Han Chinese. So, MIC was coming up as me, fish, sun, and microphone. As a boy, a baby, a child, the ox, lamb, and pig all rolled into one in a tunneled shape, you know, like rolling up a burrito. That's Michael or Mick. Then the San, which is also M&M, means saint with a name, the number 5, which right in the middle of the numbers, right? The M&M, the sun and the moon. It's like, again, the mediator between all the opposites. To flatten, to make equal, to sew, the mediator, to weave, which is also like the designer, the fabric maker, and the seamstress. With sound and sense, presuming, suspect, and supposing, perhaps. With the three lines across and a question mark, the three, the other woman or man, the umbrella, parachute, or to cover self, or to get out of dodge just in case. Healthy dog and gentle man or husband, to measure, to comb, name, blood, 100, sanitarium, limb, shin, and hind leg, to use the nose, the tooth, and the limb, to smell, bite, and exert, sled or sledge, or to dream, to mediate and be curious. The smallest of the three lines, and yet packs the most wallop or punch. And then met was dead meat, concerning, tide and measure, of image, reputation, to dose, or to dare, to meet the dream, right? To dare, to dream the impossible dream. To use, to bug, to endure, flow with the tide and shift as needed. And the three were coming up as the innocent, the saint, and the grim reaper. The innocent being the mouthpiece, the saint being the mediator who sews and weaves, and the grim reaper. Michael and Metatron, and Sandalphon is M&M, a little of both. The lightning that thunder rolled into that burrito shape, remember the innocent one, they're coming up really as three different types of men, right? The innocent one, the saint, and then the grim reaper who reaps a lot, but who's not happy about it. The lightning that thunder or Metatron rolled into one big saint in the middle who sews and weaves, who measures and mediates, willing to go crazy, to bore or tunnel through to their dreams. The one they don't see coming or underestimated, the estimator. The one who holds your umbrella and gets you out of a jam, the gentleman, with both masculine and feminine, not just light innocence or dark guilt. So, the law of rhythmic catalyst, per Sam the illusionist, is to go down or fall a little in order to rise with momentum. The moment of or boredom, time to ground and integrate, or boredom. And bore was then broken down into the bore, which we were just talking about, the bore and the but also the transition of ore, which is unwrought metal of brass, copper, or bronze, a first derivative of the ear or earth. In Sanskrit, it's ayas, or copper iron, a time, instance, doe, child, we, our ear, or the hour of divine office, your now, a mine, to plow, till, or spoken, prayed, orated, and begged. And that was coming up just regarding or, regarding the bore, which capital B is the number 13 of transition or death. So, to use your skills here with the boredom, having a momentum in that fall, to have some boredom time, to ground and integrate, to use your skills around the house with water, stones, or one, or someone, a man, a husband perhaps, of mind, intellect, and wit. The bore who inspires freedom due to lack of interest, to cut, to make a hole, to form, a big tunneling, to push with a lot of force, strength, power, or labor, to fool, to trick, a rapid flow rolled into a wave, to force a narrow and difficult passage through morning, sleepless nights, to puncture, drill, or make a dent in caliber, or a level of importance. Or pine wood is a definition that came up here. And wasn't that interesting, of the pine and the pineal gland? The pine wood, which means an English film and TV or visual telepathic studio in Buckinghamshire. And then it was relating to Hollywood and Bollywood and Pinewood. The holy, the ball, and the pie. The good, the bad, and the ugly, or lie. The pie with the circle and the line down the middle, which is equating with someone sharing their pie equally. Equal shares of pining, where pine, P-I-N, with a long I, equals pain. And pino means torment or torture. And pona means punishment. And pone, or however it's pronounced, means penalty, fine, blood, money. A painful longing, yearning, or mourning, woman or girl, comes up with this with pine wood. The French pine cone, from the Latin pinea, a knob or a penis. a soft medium weight with good strength that's durable and flexible, prone to fungus and staining of blue due to natural moisture within. The pine wood. The French pine cone, or piner, P-I-N-E-R, which means to have intercourse, which they use more vulgar terms, but I'm going to say to have intercourse. To pin, tack, broche, acne or patch, or ache rather, not acne, but ache or patch. And then wood means to separate. The tree, the forest, the grove, to see the forest through the trees. It's also golf club or an erect penis, mad, insane, crazed, to do unto others, to assert one's will upon another at 233, which is the high priestess and the Christ vibration. To be or not to be, that is the question. So are you, the capital letters, are you or are you not? And notice what are you is representative of right now. And not is coming up as K-N-O-T. Are you or are you not? A tight weaving that seems stress got you into. A tight weaving that the seamstress or the seams stress got you into. Did they do unto you, or did you knot yourself? Tying yourself up in knots due to fear, worry without reason, without the emperor's logic, calm or sound mind, the MD in sound of music, of longing and pining for freedom to be home with the actual person that you love. The L of love, the key to change, to open the pod that I showed you the other day. The pod of the two-headed needle, the portal of the black hole, to open the pod of the 6 and the 9 that becomes the 8, the circle, the key to change, and the O that becomes the oval when you have the ability to stretch and shift your perspective in an oblique angle perhaps, and the V to create with the E, which is one who is equal and congruent. For those of you who automatically see the 69 as a sexual position, move to just above the 69 and see two humans hugging each other equally. Like the pyramid, a 3D triangle, or from the oblique perspective, a diamond, but from above it is the point where all roads lead home to the heart. The heart, ear, and HT, which is height. The sound of height, or above. The sound of silence, the moment before, inspired by the momentum, which is that boredom, to do some ohms. And the ring, then, was a call from Newport Richey, Florida. So if that means anything to someone, that came up right there at 244. And at 249, the High Priestess, or the Divine Feminine, the 49 of the 9 of Cups, I finally got to writing down the rest of the cards. The 13th card was the New Dawn, number 10, which is what today adds up to, the Destiny card of the Wheel of Fortune. And so at 254, again, the time I woke up with the Page of Swords having a message for us. The underlying energy in the Metatron read is, who are you? The are you. Well, I read it today differently because I found out about 10 years ago that I am 1/4 Russian, that my grandfather wasn't my biological grandfather, and that my biological grandfather that we never knew, and is probably the man we found online, but who has passed on now. But who are you? Your inner child, the Divine Masculine, the Divine Feminine, the key to you and your lineage. Because how can you find out what's in your subconscious and your DNA if you don't know your whole lineage? The key to you in birth, in crossing the rainbow bridge to Big Bird and Thoth. A human expanding in all directions of time, space, continue. Metatron's rainbow bridge and Thoth's arc of Eureka, light. Either way, a stroke of inspiration to provoke the genius you are. Big Bird, Queen of Swords, proving yourself as a man in this world to become the loving lady that you are. Are you versus you are. This is the war. And notice the letters, are you and you are, okay, which is paralleling with the actual stuff that's going on. Are you the doer and done unto? or the beer and beer, sharing a beer together perhaps, or two bees. Or vows, promises we make to ourselves to be or not. Triangles and wings, two U's in GS of wings to anoint each other. Be you and bless them. Be yon and blesseth. Be distant but with sight. You, infinite article, the art of I am being the key, to that place there yonder, the feather, a kind of a dance, and bless Seth, which means the seed, the little one who hasn't grown yet at 306, the Empress and the lovers, the honeybees. And I got big connection when I wrote honeybees. Honeybees is coming up as the honey of the hoe and the neigh of the horse, or the hoe and the horse's ass, the or Mary Magdalene and Jesus bees, the carpenter bees of Pinewood Forest through the trees, Robin Hood and Maid Marian, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, Bonnie and Clyde, the carpenters at 309, as soon as this energy came in of the carpenters, I cried. Why do birds suddenly appear every time you are near? Just like me, they long to be close to you. And that was coming up as two U's as well. So on the day that you were born, the angels got together and decided to create a dream come true. So they sprinkled moon dust in your hair of gold and starlight in your eyes of blue. And then the mask can come back and say, why do birds suddenly appear every time you are near? Just like me, they long to be close to you. On the day that you were 6 or in love, the angels got together and decided to create my dream come true. So they sprinkled moon dust in your hair of gold and starlight in your eyes of blue. That is why. So you know the rest of the song. But 2 children, the 6 of Cups, inspired to be Big Bird when they grew up, or a purple dinosaur, the castle in the sky, the purple moon with rockets that leave trails behind to take off for a new world. So Sesame, or say me, the street, Sesame Street, or the path, and Barney, or the barn at the Y in the road, or our house, is a very, very, very fine house. At 319, which is the Empress and the Sun, as we turn the page to 21 and the world, with the lilac page of swords, message of higher realms and magic, and the inner child Atlas, hear and know me, with the weight and the world on my shoulders, along with sunshine. And at last, my love has come a long way, baby, from Denver to Morocco, from olive trees to pine, from child to adulthood, you've always been mine. Please be my Valent Thor, the giant talking tree or history. My Thor Han, my Han Solo, please be my Valentine. Brave heart to self, to fall into the valley of the giant talking tree, where love is a battlefield. So okay, corral, and let bygones be. A catfish at 329, which is the Empress and the 3 of Wands, a catfish, East Indian perhaps, a trap or scale to weigh gold and silver, a place of choice, selection, election, or quality, the inlet and shallow bay, where light and wave meets dark and wall, in the valley of the shadow of death, where the wails of worth echo from the casualties of war, where Big Bird meets Barney the dinosaur, where love is possible for different species from the same origin, and where the underestimated go, where the brave fear to tread, where tall yellow bird is scared and jaundiced, all that pain having affected their liver, and the purple dino is cold, having been left in the freezer too long, with freezer burn and purple lips, where one, a healthy liver with high vibe purple lips, awakens sleeping beauty, a bird of prey and yet resourcefulness, where a giant bird's talons massages the dinosaur or elephant's head to show love, and makes a small valley, hollow, or depression as a pledge at 343, which is the Empress and the Three of Cups of coming together, makes as a pledge, refundable deposit, willing to forfeit the game to be a pawn for a moment of or boredom to hinge or articulate a pair of pants. Pants, too, to heave, to shrink and bulge, to sigh and flutter, to palpitate, long for, to lose their breath and gasp, appear, imagine, to fantasize, and to be breathless. With Ellie, a big gesture or sign, anointing with oil and rain, the cardamom seeds, he, she, or it, no matter what or who they are, for Ellie is for love, in the middle of EE, two equal and congruent to each other, come hell or high water, in the valley, the impressions of those who have lived before, the glyphs of hero, where the Ellie pants and the hero pants, and make a lasting impression for their future ancestors to talk about. The heir, or the heir in the air, or like the heir as in to inherit something, and the Ellie, which is of the earth, where air, EIR, equals copper, a reddish-brown, malleable, ductile, metallic element, a high electrical and thermal conductivity with symbol CU and atomic number 29. Again, the Three of Wands being present in the moment to the gifts. The heir to the throne and the air that we breathe, the air of human breathlessness, of longing for the Ellie, the ment of mind and spirit to police and rescue them, since Big Bird is a little flighty sometimes or considered a flight risk, as the Hierophant is the bird and the elephant the dinosaur, who's royal, the bird who is actually well-grounded, Queen of Pentacles, and the elephant of high integrity of thought, of the King of Swords, or a bit intense sometimes. A meeting of the minds in earth-shattering place, the setting of the heart, the ringing of the ear, hearing the art of he in the heat of the moment. At 412, which is the Emperor and the Hanging Man. Do you hear what I hear? On the whispering bench and at the beach of the B and B, which are also 13 and 13 of transition, the B and B of Big and Barney, the Airbnb and the whispering bench, whispering to each other from opposite ends of the universe. In the valley of his crown, the indentation that they made in their head, with the death of the coffin of Hermine's eye or pineal gland, she forever made an impression on him, and he blinded by his light, and he her insight. Eyes locked and unaffected by lockness, happy to be imprisoned by each other's eyes. Aye, aye, Capitan. Would you like to drive today, or perhaps take advantage of my keen vision? As she sits in the purple moon of Mary Magdalene and her other half, 200, or two humans swooning in the mists of Avalon under the moon in the present moment. At 4:20, which happens to be the time of my son's birth, reaching for the sun, my son, to collect shadow for later use, transforming the chaos of chaos, KAOS, into control, and smart into 99's compassion at 4:22, the Emperor and the Fool, two pink weeping willows, an owing of wills, to try to see the other's point of view, with love as above. Dragon's fire breath, or ether, which literally means the ash, which is also the bright light of the thur, which is something that is really sharp and cuts, or perhaps I'm trying to think of the other word that comes up in a minute, but the fire breath of the ether, a cut or sharp cut of bright light, the sun noticing how others connect and wanting to give back with coppery gold, that's exciting yet warm like the sun, yet buttercup yellow and soft like the heart of gold, with sudden epiphanies of the infinity rose gold aqua heart. The love of the mother, from orange copper rose to gold, or raising an octave, with sudden love on the journey of life, she untouchable and he detached, yet he's royal and she longing and emotional. At 429, which is the Emperor, and again the Three of Wands being present in the moment to your gifts. As the King of Wands in duality, where balance is now needed, perhaps he's not eating right. At 431 is the Emperor and chaos, and needing to get back to control. The indigo complete and whole in the Ides, eyes and Ides of March. 44 BC, the 74th day of the year, March 15th, the day after Pi, the 11th hour, a day for settling debts and the assassination of Julius Caesar, a time of reckoning, with the nones on the 5th and the 7th days of the month, and the Ides being the 13th and the 15th on March anyway, or the first full moon of the new year. The Ides are the sheep who are led to the slaughter. Again, the ether, which is the slaughter of the bright lights. And later, the Holy Week of festivals of Cybele. I'm not sure how, again, the Eli comes up with Cybele. I'm not sure how it's pronounced. And then Attis, which means father. The day of Cana Intrat, which means the reed, enters when Attis was born and found in the reeds of the Phrygian river. He was found by the shepherds, or the goddess Sibyl, or Cybele, I'm not sure how it's pronounced, which means great mother, or magna mater, which is of the elephant. So it's coming up as this goddess is the mother of the masculine, the Eli, of the elephant. So the next week comes up as March 22nd, the solemn commemoration of the arbor in tract, or where the tree enters, is what that means. And we're just talking about the giant talking tree. The commemoration of the death of Attis is done under a pine tree of all things that just came up in the prior pages. They would cut down a tree, or the ethers coming up here, the slaughter of the innocent, and hang Attis's picture and carry it to the temple of Magna Mater, with 3 days of mourning and celebration of the rebirth of Attis on March 25th, the date of the vernal equinox on the Julian calendar. So the sun returns to the mother for rebirthing. The CY, which equals CU, which equals the Q, and the cow and the I, the rear, the bottom, the dove and the pigeon. A mother with a boy who's a dick, perhaps, or perhaps he's just a mama's boy. So dependent on the mother, they never wanted a mate, and had to be reborn to cut the cord with the mother before it's too late, to become the man that he is. The indigo child becomes the galactic man, in a new dawn in the valley of no more shadows, or Shah's dowries, the mother's payment to release her son. The high vibe new dawn with natural boundaries set daily, with the key to sunrise and sunset, in the path of the sun, making up his own mind, through the arcs and the rockets that leave trails to follow, the portal to the sun, the heart of the matter. I Kosa, I matter, to the vine, to the divine. I Kosahedron, the matter that climbs, IV, continuous, rose, conquers the fears, the Capricorn, the goat, which comes from the Capra genus. The lamb comes from the Orus genus, the young sheep, conquers their fears, where the innocent lamb goes to slaughter. The ram of Aries and the sacrificial lamb is the first one who's out, that gets killed. They're too quick to the punch, wanting to be the star, whereas Capricorn's indent is the root, Capricorn's intent is not stardom like the ram. It is retirement. Once they've climbed that mountain, there's no end to their duty or tax. Scorpio is 2 signs behind them, taxing them, and Pisces 2 signs ahead of Capricorn, egging them on to bear more fruit. At 5:12, which is the Hierophant and the Hanging Man, one step at a time, as the goat rises up that mountain and the lamb becomes ram tough, sparing or sparring and willing to die for a cause. And remember, in the Ides of March, it's about marching to the slaughter, willing to die for the cause. But Capricorns already learned their lesson about that and has slowed their roll down a lot to be more practical. Water for emotional well-being, the Icosa chariot. Icosa means I matter to the vine, that's icosahedron. And aged wine travels a long distance without whining, as the King of Swords of purity and innocence takes action regarding the silencing of the lamb. The hermit runs with Big Bird in chariots of fire, which is coming up as the ether or, instead of either or, ether, and then or of O-R-E. The ether of the slaughtering of the bright light or the innocent, bringing the ore of copper into gold as Christ rises into the aqua rose gold heart of infinite compassion. Compassion, calm, and passion. The second coming of Christ, the 72 by 2, as the ants go marching 2 by 2, hurrah, hurrah. The great flood of emotion in saving the innocents from slaughter, as the bad man goes up and the good man comes down to the ground to get out of the rain at 5:23, the Hierophant and the King of Wands. Love rain on me. Who? Yes, the question, 3 lines across, and the question mark. Equal and congruent to the cliffhanger. And who might that be, as in the carpenter bee? To be or K-N-O-T, not to be. Carpenter tied up in knots, stinging others. Or rather a couple of carpenters singing their hearts out in public, or whistleblowers. The King of Swords and hermit, the vine that matters, the catchers in the rye, a dis-ease of hawks, as the hawk is a bird of prey, and the elephant is a mammal of prey, clearing the skies and the ground at the same time to make way for the second coming. To land, ho, at 5:31, the Hierophant and chaos. She'll be coming round the mountain when she comes. Both have been there before. And both have been there before was coming up as the 2, but I wrote it down as Roman numeral 2, which is 11, or alignment of the 2, each being one of 2, each other's half. The bean counter came up here regarding the cross that Jesus hung on, that they've both been there before at that cross. Of the 13 and the 4 that came up next, of B4, B is the 1, 3, and the 4, 13 is death, or the transition, and 4 is coming up as death's door. And then the 4 is broken down into the L and the 1, which is the key of the 1, or the right angle of 1. The cross and the fall from grace, due to will and ego, where will and grace make the best pairing according to societal standards of wine and cheese. But will must go for what's waiting in the wings, for who's who is on first and what's what on second as runner-up to bat. And we all know, never underestimate the underdog for the win, making a short stop at the pit stop to make an impression. As a third, unsure about making a home run before 0-point field is out of the question. And what was that question again? At 5:46, which is the Hierophant and the inner children of the 6 of Cups. Oh, what is the true number 2 of the who's who couldn't see the 3rd through the trees, the dis-ease, and the overwhelming synchronicities of 3s everywhere? So 2.5, or as I wrote them, 11.5, the bean counter, who's been there before at death's door, at the crossroads, at just the right angle for one at the field. As the gloves are dumped in the bin, as the bean counters do their tax thing, in the March to sacrifice and April to May, flowering to spooning in June, which can't come too soon, and in the Christ Mass, in the Jews' lie of July, so Phi in Sophia, expanding, contracting, like wildfires of chariots who were on fire. In July, bringing a little coolness to the heart in response to Christ's heat in December. 10 embers of high vibe charge for the better, or change for the better. And in April, to open and ask Mother, may I spoon in June with the Jews' lie at Octavian's August gate, the floodgates of Julius's assassination. Notice Julius is July and US, and that's our birthday. The Jews' lie at Octavian August's gate, the floodgates of Julius's assassination, the Roman emperor, the preceptor or teacher, giving Julius back from Augustus the number 7 in September to relive his month. The scepter is the harboring of a fugitive, time to receive, and October he gave to himself as Octavius in a turn for the better, with alignment in November embers and counting to 10 to test his patience, as December embers from Christ's warmth to help keep patience. Christ's heat at that time brought a need for thirst in January and feverish February, for vengeance in a second coming around full circle to March, finding the best revenge is happiness without sacrificing the innocence, to be like a kid again with a touch of spring fever. I got chills, they're multiplying. As the power you're supplying, it's electrifying. As the power company tomorrow is going to shut off my electricity on March 2nd for 1 to jump. 3, 2, 1, jump. The shaman brings truth and the peace pipe to the Queen of Cups, Mary Magdalene, for thanks and giving, as the Page of Cups in her heart is evolving and birthing the new at 6:24, the Lovers and the Queen of Wands. Thanksgiving every day with synchronicities and signs from birds of prey, for the 10 of Cups family of abundance of heart, watching the Queen of Wands stretch up and lunge to feed the baby of the heart energy, and Archangel Sandalphon winking at you here, helping on the Fool's journey to open the heart at Spring Gate 3:3 and to Ram's Gate 4:4, to answer the call to lead the way through Lion's Gate 8:8, and so on. And that was at 6:28, which is the new moon in June. 6:28:22 at 10:53 Eastern Standard Time. And by the way, today is the new moon as well. So at 6:39 then, going from that 28, and I took a little break there, to 39, the Lovers and the Knight of Cups. The underlying energy of the authentic self bridging to the Queen of Swords in the shape of the teardrop to the triangle, the tears to measure, and the wingspan bridging the back, the homecoming. Then the castle in a cloud sending light to fill up the heart and the womb, knocking the King of Wands off balance. The shaman needs to eat right. The inner child and what's weighing on you, reflecting from the heart. The mysteries of life and the Queen of Cups receiving synchronicities and signs. The purple moon in February through the dragon's fire in Lion's Gate, from copper to gold, working with family tree as the cosmos mirrors 12 strands of your DNA and the Dan lineage. Birthing new heart and seeking energy from the Queen of Wands to perhaps help to care for a baby. There was your Metatron read. Okay, so now we're going to go back to the read on the table. Yeah, okay. Let me show you the picture of that. where are we? We're at 49, 41. So here's the main read on the table with the SIRIAN Starseed deck. Okay. And then here is the full 7-deck read. Is it? Okay. So where did it go? Oh, I did. Okay. Okay, so here is my twin flame read. I think I have a message of the day there for you too. I didn't realize. Do I have a picture of that on here? Let me just check. I do. So I believe this is the message of the day that's coming up as well. This is my 4-deck read with the Animal Spirit deck, LENORMAND Reverie, the Gilded, and the KIPPER deck. So if that comes up here, I'll give that one to you too. But now we have the message on the table. The SIRIAN Starseed deck cut and dealt at 811, which is the Strength card, and the 11 of Justice, Truth and Balance. And then at 822, which the 22 is the Fool's Journey, Ascension came up along with the N, of capital N for me is the Christ symbol. So Ascension, which is also sense connection, and that connection of your senses and Christ, and the Christ consciousness. And then I finished clarifying at 838 to 39, which is the Queen and Knight of Cups, and the dance between them. And then the Solar Deity came up as the Major Arcana, along with the Shadow, which is the Devil, and the World, which is Ascension. And before the read, the Strength card came up. After the read, Karma, which is Judgment, just the Guidance card, which is the Hierophant, and Justice. 1 wand, 4 pentacles, 1 cup, and 2 swords came up, as the King of Pentacles and the Knight of Swords were the main court cards in the read, and just the 9 of Wands, the Wounded Warrior, came up after. We had triple 2s today, all about the 2 and the Divine Feminine of the 2, the 22 of the Fool's Journey, and the 4 of Stability and Building. But the triple 2s brings it up to a 6, another octave of the Lovers and Compassion, with the double 3s of the Christ vibration and the double 1s of Justice and Truth and Balance, and the number 7 by itself standing there on its own as the Chariot, which is the feminine within the masculine, rising in ascension, and then going through infiltration in the fall. We also have, in a less significant way, the 9-10 begin again, and the 12 of the Hanging Man, the 23 of the King of Wands, the 34 of the 8 of Wands, and the 57 of the 3 of Swords. And the code line was all about individuality and love, and coming up separately as indiv and I-duality, along with love. And the code line, the number was 32, coming from 23, 7, and 2. And there's that 72 by 2 energy coming up along with the King of Wands and the 32. The 23 and the 32 reflect each other, with the 7 and 2 in the middle. Regarding individuality and love, the message came up as this: expanding and contracting. There's a whole lot of expanding and contracting in this message here. But expanding and contracting, toggling up or taking a time out, expanding and contracting again, the twins expanding and contracting, the 2 and 3 aiding the Chariot, the Divine Feminine within the masculine, the number 7, so the King of Pentacles can take the high road to the 0 point here regarding individuality and love. The Foot or the Fort, expanding and contracting twins, the Empress aiding the Chariot or the Divine Feminine within the masculine, so that the King of Pentacles, the Master of Crystals, which is also coming up as a heterocyclic ether with 5-membered ring with 4 carbons and 1 oxygen, and colorless, used for polar solvent. So in order to solve that polar bear, pushy mother bear that comes up in the cards all the time. So the first year, the King of Wands with aid, the Divine Feminine within the masculine, the Chariot or Cancer energy, so the King of Pentacles can take the high road to humans. And this was coming up with India, IND, which is an investigational new drug study, the Independent the IV or ivy, the vine, the ID of individuality, of I duality, which is ID of you all, and I have gratitude for that, or I thank you, or I dual, I thank you, with love. Clinging to I am dual and I am grateful both at the same time at 928, which is the Hermit and the Twin Flames, and that choice of path. And actualization was coming up as significant today. So, oh, I skipped pages here. That's why I was confused before. I couldn't figure out where it was continuing to. So what time was that? 9:28. Okay. Okay, so all right, now I get it. Okay. So we start this readout with the Two of Wands reversed, and beneath that was the Four of Wands reversed, the Ace of Swords upright, the Ten of Pentacles reversed, the Strength card reversed, and the Five of Pentacles reversed at 9:28, the Hermit and the Twins. With instability, a move or visit, or a homecoming, the end of marriage with the Truth, to the Ten of Pentacles reversed, family, business, or community, who may be recovering but with no options. The Page of Cups reversed, Dark Knight or Scorpio, and the Emperor upright, overworked or not working out of alignment, with the Page of Swords spreading the word about a death, an ending, and or a transition. The Page of Pentacles is not telling their true feelings to the King of Pentacles reversed, or about his death, an ending or a sudden event, an epiphany or sexual exchange, and burdened by the Queen of Swords reversed, with a faulty foundation and growing vines up the walls, sprouting, growing up, and suddenly burdened by what the Queen of Swords reversed says or doesn't say, rolling out the red carpet for Atlas with the weight of the world, and the Queen's walls coming tumbling down around her after a sudden death or ending. The King of Pentacles reversed, suddenly starting over, dropping the act. Dropping the act. This could be someone blowing their top, their crown, their cover, perhaps blowing their mind, as this could be a secret coming out too, as a tree is taken down, which can regard the family tree, or a building that exploded, no longer bored and dropping the ball, and now breaking patterns. Worth waiting for, and beneath that was make the effort. With the two bulls split, no more sex in the chair, Hatari Safari, the spy taken down. Perhaps the spy who loved her. The wounded warrior telling his story about the fall of the brothel, the downturn, all the spies of the lap dance, and sharpening tools at 10:15, which is the Wheel of Fortune and the devil here. Perhaps after chaining up the bulls, checking on the lady after screwing them over, no longer spying, the wounded warrior confessing they're really a girl, or the woman who betrayed him. Adventure 55 with the Truth, and Pride is the 19 of the Sun, as finding peace in powerlessness, emotionally fulfilled and strong. The sister or the one suffering in silence, trying to end the nightmare in a heated exchange, with the Knight of Pentacles upright, and the Sovereign, perhaps a sibling, reversed, with a happy family and Leo or pet, and the Knight of Pentacles ending the suffering in silence, or perhaps dealing with the sister, or counting sheep by not telling and leaving. So ending the suffering in silence by not telling and leaving, perhaps not telling anyone they're leaving. At 10:32, which is the Wheel of Fortune and the Journey. So Leo reverse, perhaps two Scorpios upright here, Aries, Cancer, and Leo upright as well, with Libra reversed, and the Knight of Pentacles without a choice, with the Queen of Swords reversed, dropping the act in the downturn, and the twist of fate and adventure. With the battle without choice, with the King of Swords reversed, and leading to after the read, the Page of Wands reversed, child being left behind, with new passion or a deal offered, and weakened by an announcement, as the Page of Cups rejection, or who's vulnerable and shy, is connecting with the Knight of Swords, defending the Ten of Cups reverse family from the Fool, who's uncomfortable with emotions, of the Magician manifesting a big move. At 11:11, the Seven of Pentacles reverse, which is the Divine Feminine's heart coming out of the E-Tower with good news, perhaps that she's actually alive, bringing truth to awaken and defend justice, and let go to make amends. After a battle and being drained at 11:25, which is Justice and the Knight of Wands, the Queen of Cups and the Knight of Cups, and the wounded warrior in need of sun and fun, but drained by the King of Swords reversed, perhaps wanting to kill her. The foundation of the Three of Pentacles reversed with issues at work, with synchronicities of the Divine Feminine in the 5D, and the King of Swords reversed receiving an offer from the Hermit reversed, who's now coming out. At 11:42, which is Justice of the Two of Cups, perhaps the soulmates or partners, and the central energy of the Sun that's reversed, but the Nine of Cups that's upright and being happy with oneself, but drained at the same time in need of sun, and the Ten of Cups family being weak and reversed, overexposed Queen of Cups upright with a lion heart, moving the Ten of Pentacles family reversed, which can be business or community as well, and moving to change the status of the sovereign, or perhaps the sun. Challenged by the King of Pentacles reversed and the Eight of Pentacles reversed, overspending and overworking, defending their position, the Knight of Swords rushing in, defending the Six of Cups relationship, soulmates, children, or the two who are meant to be together, as the Chariot's boldly moving towards the lover at March 1st, 22, as it changed days, the Queen of Pentacles and the Page of Pentacles both upright, inviting the Queen of Swords reversed to come back, or vice versa, at 12:01. The Queen of Pentacles judged or making an announcement, draining secret passion, no longer fantasizing about the Knight of Cups, flirting with them, and the Hermit reversed going crazy about coming out about a secret passion or to their secret passion, and the High Priestess reversed feeling guilt and shame of the release of the Hermit reversed, perhaps coming out or finding peace without light, or coming out with release or a new lease on life. At 12:06, which is the Hanging Man and the Lovers, now crowning is the Two of Cups upright, uninspired to carry the load of Atlas, getting over the loss with the Emperor reversed, surrendering to the Knight of Pentacles without choice, freed from or as the Magician with all their tools on board, perhaps depressed and healing soulmates who are longing for each other. The High Priestess reversed, withholding from the King of Cups upright, suffering the hardship of sharing in a codependent twist of fate, with the Three of Cups socialite, Queen of Wands reversed, refusing to move in heated debate, receiving love offer of bliss from an uncomfortable place, perhaps death at night, or Scorpio Queen of Cups, Cancer or Pisces in chart, married to their gifts and issues with big love through work as third-party secret passion with guilt and shame of release. And soon here's the Three of Swords reversed, healing their heart of the Six of Cups, soulmates or children, with the Two of Cups upright. So this is a very special relationship with the Two of Cups and the Six of Cups both upright here together, of soulmates or twins, and that can be children as well. The Seven of Swords getting away from the King of Wands upright, with new information, implementing a plan for issues at work, but losing patience, with the Ten of Pentacles reversed, family, business, or community of dysfunction or loss, and the Empress upright with the King of Cups upright, perhaps Sagittarius reversed and Taurus upright there, and perhaps the Page of Pentacles with the Queen, and the Sovereigns with the King of Pentacles reversed, and the Ten of Pentacles family, or the Queen of Pentacles and the Page of Pentacles are kids, and the King of Pentacles reversed has a new love, the Sovereign reversed, or just ain't no sunshine when she's gone. At 12:19, the Hanging Man and the Sun, the Twin Flames Knight of Swords with 5D messages, grieving loss and regret through announcements or a wake-up call, finding peace away from the Knight of Wands, settling out in release and healing, sister or suffering in silence, laying to rest, perhaps, or services. So at 12:21, Retreat. Calling in your soulmate, releasing your ex. Around the twins or how they're seen is the shadow reversed. Detoxing the wounded warrior who's on guard while the Knight of Cups offers love to the Empress. Or Aquarius upright calls to announce the Knight of Wands or Sagittarius is coming over with Capricorn messenger or proposal to the Empress, and blocked by the Two of Pentacles reversed, needing to surrender to all that is. The Queen of Wands reversed fallen angel at war with themselves, refusing to surrender, with love, individuality, and even more so, perseverance, ending the nightmare by cracking the safe, the person, or the code. The world upside down, detoxing depression and the need for hope by connecting one-to-one with old friends and soul ties, feeling guilty for releasing the Hermit reversed on their own recognizance perhaps, or to meet the twin at the dock. The world is upside down for big love at work, satisfied with karma or karma and guidance or karmic guidance, or Aqua Taurus, Aquarius Taurus, and Justice of Libra or Libra, and the wounded warrior offering new love and bliss now that the worst is over at 1229, the Hanging Man and the Three of Wands being present in the moment or to your gifts. The Hermit's coming out of exile without option with issues at work, and the Knight of Swords delivering detox, or the Knight in shining armor proposing to the Divine Feminine's heart to open up. In need of sunshine, happiness, and challenged by the King of Pentacles reversed, healing after dropping the ball, refusing to surrender to the Two of Cups, Divine Feminine in 5D, or Pisces reversed with karmic guidance, with justice for the wounded warrior offering or receiving love and bliss and getting their wish. The Four of Wands reversed and the Ace of Swords here on shaky ground about the truth, with the Ten of Pentacles reversed, family, business, or community, in need of courage to have the Hermit come out of exile to recover, the Divine Feminine's heart coming out of the E-Tower, with the Knight of Pentacles not coming together at work, drained with the Two of Cups, and challenged by the King of Pentacles reversed, and the Knight of Swords messenger of healing and detoxing, the Two of Pentacles reversed, no longer juggling, in need of closure, with Aquarius, Taurus, and Libra offer the wounded warrior love or condolences now that the worst is over at 1238, which is the Hanging Man and the Queen of Cups, which is Jesus and Mary Magdalene. The Lionheart, the Lyran twin flames, the Two of Cups proposal to detox and find closure together. Announcing a marriage and divine justice or justice of the peace at 1241, the Hanging Man and the Ace of Cups, the wounded warrior on their last leg exuding love and bliss now that the worst is over. And there is your read. And now I have that message of the day too. I think that one was important too, because I was thinking, read, there's something that came up that I haven't expressed yet, and that's because I didn't get the message of the day out yet. Okay, so here's the message of the day. The underlying energy was the shark, the compass, the Page of Pentacles reversed, and the house. Did I give this to one yesterday? I gave this to you yesterday. Is that the same one as I showed you? Maybe there's another one after this. Hold on one second. I must have given this one to you yesterday, because I did it in the morning. Yeah, I think I gave that one to you already. So I guess that is it. The read, when it came up in the definitions today, was significant because the read relates in hieroglyphics to the E. The reads come up as different letters, but E is one of them for sure. And let's go ahead and pull a few oracle cards. So that message of the day was from yesterday. I don't have another one for you. So let's pull We'll pull a animal spirit card since we don't have a message of the day. It's 9:12 on the clock, which is the Hermit and the Hangman, and 109:44 here, which is the 1 of the Magician, the 9 of the Hermit, and the 44 of the grounding, integrating, and mastering of love, especially receiving it. As now it's 9:13, which are all about endings and transition, transformation. Okay, so from this animal spirit deck, what is the message? What is our takeaway here? Take a deep breath, you guys. Oh, that one fell right on the floor. Kind of floated oh so gently to the ground. The tiger. The tiger's stalking. And there is the octopus of Octavia and Augustus. And there is the hawk that's clearing the way with the elephant. And there's the crow who's standing guard. This is like the Atlas and Hercules, right? Where they're holding up the weight of the world. And the hawk was doing it, but gave it to Hercules to temporarily do it so they can go do what they have to do. And they're clearing the way while the elephant was clearing the way yesterday, stomping the ground. And here's that Octavius energy of that mainframe, right? Kind of wanting to get revenge and get back at everyone by having their hands into everything, right? To avenge Julius's assassination. Oh, how interesting this is coming up. So this tiger stalking, and I'm getting Elon Musk for some reason regarding this. But here are the two the tiger stalking, the octopus teacher, the hawk clearing the way while Hercules takes over Atlas's stand here. And then there's like a moth to the flame, and there's the elephant. So here's your two, like from the story in the read. The hawk is the feminine, the elephant is the masculine here. And both are then clearing the way for the second coming, which came up in the read. To undo the shark attack. And there's the break, here's the shark attack and the sea serpent with the break in the seal. I can't pull much more here because the cards are all falling out of my hands. But the bottom of the deck here, there's a few more that I'm going to show you in a second. Hold on. Yep. It's telling a long story here. The bottom of the deck is the crocodile here. Okay, that's the underlying energy with the fox upside down. And so is the raccoon and the bat. Did the crocodile eat all these guys? They're all upside down, all these little guys. Oh, so this is like where the evil just destroyed all of this. This is the past revenge that the energy coming out wants to get their vengeance for. The tiger's coming in to get revenge with this mainframe. And this is like they're in charge, you know. There's the in charge, there's the head home base basically, and then here's all of the far reaches of the world that they have. Getting the hawk to clear the way after the crow took their place to stand guard, like a moth to the flame. Then there comes the elephant, right? Because these guys go together, and the shark, as the shark creates a break in the seal here. And then what comes up here is the cheetah, who's ready to pounce. And it's like they're protecting the golden egg over here, along with the phoenix rising, with the energy of the zebra, right, who never changes their stripes. They go against the grain, but in a good way here, where they're fully activated. And there's the wise owl, who's giving advice to the elk who needs to eat right, because the elk in this deck is a great person, unless they're not eating right, and then they can lose their temper or get arrogant here. So again, it's like this is people defending the children here, right? This is someone standing on guard, watching the golden egg, which is the children, the phoenix rising, right? Our future. And here's the mother type energies and the wisdom, you know, of the parents over here taking care of the children here. Like perhaps this is group meetings too, like coming together in the community to have a talk, or perhaps talking with grown children, like I was talking to my son about needing to eat right. So there's, yeah. And then the wings coming out, that came up in the read too, about growing your wings as the masculine wings start to expand. And again, protecting the young prince right before an assassination attempt. And that was interesting. That was coming up too in the series. If you haven't watched it, The King's Affection, if you like romance, you got to watch The King's Affection. It's such a beautiful series. It's really beautiful. Yeah, it's a lot coming out for you guys. And then the journey of love. Again, that's that energy of the dark coming in and wanting to take over the kingdom and finding a break in the seal. But then it's about how that all goes down, right? And the war which breaks out, which happened here already, which then will end quickly as all then gets restored in even a better way than it would have to begin with. And that those who didn't want to be in power will be able to let go and go into their unions, as others who want to be in that power then take over, because that was their rightful position in the first place. They were meant to do it. There's your happy ending there, guys. Wow. There we go. Look at that. The swans. The 67 of the loyal, humble servants. So that means this war is going to be over really fast. And then all of a sudden, it's like the chips will fall where they may. Everything will fall back into place because of what happened. The disruption, the tower had to come in to cause this in order to reorder everything of the chaos. And so everything will just fall right into place right when it ends. The burning hero of the three of the Empress and the humble loyal servant. And the spiral dance of the goddess of being present in the moment to their gifts. There's that energy of that strangulation there too with the ovaries. See why that's coming up. The bottom of the deck here is the heart of the moment, the 16 of the tower that I just brought up, right? The blood that's shed. And there's the breaking of the King of Pentacles, the crash within the vortex, right? The tower needed to come in to reorder the chaos, to bring it back into its rightful place. This is a very important message. I hope I'm doing it justice. So, but regarding the spiral dance of the goddess here, with this can be olive energy, but I always get strangulation of the fallopian tubes here. So I don't know if someone has an ectopic pregnancy here. But there's also the becoming here of the 34, which is the 8 of Wands. And this is very beautiful, but it's also very 2D. This is that energy exchange, a lot of energy back and forth, communication and travel, and the arrows of love. And then the knowing without knowing, the Mary Magdalene energy here, carrying the weight of the world, but doing it effortlessly. The knowing without knowing because of love. The self-love, spiritual love, new love. Okay, so here's the humble loyal servant and the burning hero of the feminine and the earth, the planet, Gaia, Terra. And the strangulation of its fallopian tube. So this is referencing the earth in the spiral dance of the goddess. It's like tunneling underground. The boar, remember I brought up the boar in the read, and the boar is under the Swiss and French Alps. Whatever's going on with this dark energy, the strangulation of the planet, and there's boar energy here too. Look at it all. Someone's blowing it up. It's on fire. I told you there's something. The war was started to distract everyone from another location, so that something could happen. And this is like the blowing up of the dark energies underground here. The strangulation to cut them off. that 2D energy of becoming something else, and the divine feminine knowing without knowing and willing to carry the weight. And again, this is that energy of Hercules taking over for Atlas too, so they can go do what they have to do. The loyal, humble servant. Boy, I'm really interested to see what's going to happen here. This could be a military operation here too. Who's the Phoenix rising? Is that the T guy? Yeah, I'm getting this is like the golden egg. This is the T guy, and here's like the military that they're having a discussion here. They're about to pound, like they want to go. It's like, is it a go? Is there a reason why my electricity is being turned off tomorrow? I don't know. But there's something very significant going on here. Okay. And again, just send lots of love everywhere to the world tonight, okay? It's all good. It's actually going to happen just the way it's supposed to. And here we have, the first card out was the tiger. I love the tiger. Actually, at my dad's services, my dad came up as the tiger. Let's see here. The tiger, lunar force, ease in the darkness, and feminine energy. The tiger hunts at night, at one with the silence, fearing nothing. There you go, they're hunting at night, right, when everything's quiet. This card reminds us to take in the wild darkness, to allow the lunar forces to soothe and heal our spirits. Sensuality, receptivity, and devotion are all heightened in the midnight hour, and the tiger takes advantage of these boons. Spend some time in silence this evening, drinking in the potent calm. There is nothing to fear in the stillness except the awakening of your own power. When in balance, passionate, strong, and sensual. When out of balance, overstimulated. To bring into balance, trataka, or candle gazing here. So maybe you want to candle gaze tonight, as my flames are still burning. Wow, really powerful energies coming through here, you guys. The 67 of the swan. The swan says gliding with grace, as grace definitely came up in the read as well. Nothing is withheld from this beautiful soul. It can discern what is genuine, authentic, loving, and what is from the ego parading. Even through the most impressive words or gestures, the soul can sense the holding within of a core of fearful separation from the divine. With grace, it allows all to be, and moves amongst this world with inspiring light and grace. The Paramahamsa, great swan, the soul that moves the souls of others, is reaching to you now. The guru, the teacher, the light, the love that is all. You are blessed by sacred divine relationship with the essence of love itself, that adores you and wants only for you to be free. This oracle reaches to you now, indicating that you're held within the grace of a great soul, a teacher of the heart, of the spirit, and there is endless light bestowed upon you for protection. Your path ahead is assured. Soon you'll be shifting from hope to a sense of inevitability in your attainment of the spiritual goals closest to your heart. Be with your practices of love through meditation, yoga, kindness, nature, dance, and singing. Whatever speaks to your heart, and know you are one with the divine, and it's only a matter of time before you realize it. To love from afar, all we share are dreams of what will unfold. And the next page is drop into your heart. Remember your water, your rest, your joy, and your nature. And remember a quiet time tonight to know your power and be ready to rise. Take a deep breath, you guys. And rise and be love. I'll see you soon.